tonight on Ctv3 News. Former Belize Ambassador Said Guerra granted bail amid the sexual allegations. Police officer exonerated in court after 3-year legal battle. Investigation launched after a child is found unresponsive in Georgetown Village. And national dengue cases drop over 40%, but Belize City sees a sharp rise of 200% in infections, urging vigilance and preventative action. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, July 24th, 2025.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium, August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience. September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium, August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
Josetún presenta Los Cumbia Kings. Los Cumbia Kings en concierto. Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación Pass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Mechas, gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas,
La aplicación Express Plus,
Cuellos,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia,
Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse.
Good evening. With your newscast, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Jaden Gamis. In a case that has captured national attention, former diplomat and current school teacher Said Baidi Guerra was granted bail during a court appearance this morning after facing serious allegations. Guerra, 50, was charged with 4 counts of sexual assault, 1 count of causing harm, and procuring defilement through threats. The former ambassador appeared before the magistrate's court in Benqueviejo del Carmen, where he was granted bail set at $10,000 plus 2 sureties of the same amount. He was also required to provide 2 sureties of equal amount to secure his release. According to reports received, the allegations stem from a complaint filed last week by a 16-year-old male from San Ignacio town. It is understood that the incident in question took place on Monday, July 14th in Benqueviejo, when the minor was reportedly under the influence of alcohol. Guerra's background is notable within Belize's diplomatic circles. He previously served as Belize's ambassador to Cuba during the administration of Prime Minister Dean Barrow. In addition to his diplomatic service, he has held various government roles, including Chief of Protocol in 2017. He is also a commissioner of the High Court and was involved in public awareness efforts for the 2018 ICJ referendum campaign. The case continues to develop as authorities investigate the allegations against Guerra. As mentioned, former mayor of Benqueviejo and ex-ambassador to Cuba, 50-year-old Said Baidi Guerra, was granted temporary bail this morning after making an appearance at the Benque Magistrates Court. He faces charges of sexual assault, harm, and procuring defilement through threats. The allegations surfaced last week and involves a minor whom Guerra acknowledged as a 16-year and 7-month-old male from San Ignacio. The accuser claims the incident took place on July 14th in Benqueviejo, and reports indicate the minor was intoxicated at the time. This morning, Guerra confirmed his acquaintance with the complainant, but at the same time asserted his innocence.
I'm being wrongly accused of rape. It is not rape, and I would like whosoever put it up on the media to remove that term because it is not rape. This community knows me, Belize knows me. This community knows me because I've worked with young people, with children and young people over the years. Since I was very young, I actually was the youth president for the Youth Council of Cayo West at some point in time. So I've always worked with young people and children, and it's the first time that these allegations pop up. Secondly, I would like to call on our community, our society, to please be a bit more compassionate. I'm not talking about me, not talking about myself, I'm talking about every time there is an incident that some people happen to do things, the society immediately jumps up, condemns, crucifies, when it's only an allegation. Remember, I emphasize the term allegation because you're innocent until proven guilty. Today, it is still an allegation.
Do you think the allegation was made against you? Do you know the young man? Why would he do something like this?
Yes, I know the young man, and but that is going to come up. I'm not going to continue with this. We'll leave it for another time, please.
Can we confirm his age? Some people have been saying 14, 16, 17. Just confirm the age.
16, 7 months.
What's your relationship to
Thank you.
him?
Thank you. That's all. That's all I can say. Thank you for now.
And while 50-year-old Said Bairi Guerra is maintaining his innocence, his alleged victim, who is enrolled in the same high school where Guerra teaches, is not keeping silent. Today, with the consent of his parents, he spoke to the media and expressed disappointment in the judicial system.
I'm not happy with what happened this morning because they give Mr. Guerra bail. So I asked for justice and I demand for justice, and I also want all the teenagers to stand up and let all of the teenagers' voice get heard. So I would like for there to be some justice, and like I said, I'm not happy with what happened this morning. I find it so unfair because what all he did to me, at no moment I give him consent and he just take action over me.
Officer Stephanie Patton Sima has been officially cleared of all charges and is now a free woman. The case, which captured public attention since 2022, stemmed from a police raid at a residence in Orange Walk, where Sima and 3 other men faced a barrage of firearm and drug-related allegations. The initial incident occurred when law enforcement officials executed a search warrant at a home believed to be linked to criminal activity. During the operation, authorities reportedly discovered unlicensed firearms, ammunition, bulletproof vests, outdated GSU uniforms, and a small quantity of crack cocaine. These findings led to the arraignment of Sima and her associates on multiple serious charges. However, after nearly 3 years of legal proceedings, the majority of those accused have been acquitted. Today, Sima's attorney, Richard Dickey Bradley, confirmed that her case was dismissed due to insufficient evidence.
A few days ago, the prosecution rested their case. They felt they had presented sufficient evidence. The chief magistrate, who holds a master's degree in law, who should really be a judge in the Supreme Court, along with other Belizeans who are experienced, trained. Some of the people who are judges in our court, and the Jews don't want to say this thing here, but some of the people who are judges in our court were not even magistrates, no experience. So today the chief magistrate set aside to give a decision, having heard both myself and the prosecutor. And she reviewed the evidence, and among her many important observations is that when one of the accused persons keeps saying in court, before she started her case, all the statements from the police have that he, at the house when they were searching, at the police station, this man is saying that the me bring the thing there, she don't know, the next one don't know. You don't make people know you got a lot of gun. Gun have big money, gun people and kill you if you get one gun, you think of several. So he kept saying that. So during the trial, he kept insisting that I am the person that is guilty. The magistrate then did what is now the law, offered through his attorney to give an indication that if he maintains his guilty plea, this is what will happen. He will go to jail for so much time for this. What the chief magistrate is saying today is that throughout the course of this matter, a person is pleading guilty. The court ended up many months afterwards, during the trial, to accept the guilty plea. Then you need to shift your focus to see how you can link the other accused persons with 2 very, very important matters. This is very important that people understand. I was making a comparison, but I'm of a mischievous mind. And I was saying, suppose somebody is going to knock off somebody's girl and then dead at the house. How are they guilty if the brother got drugs in our next room? What they have to do with it? So what I'm trying to say is this, that when you reach that stage where somebody has pled guilty, the guilty plea has been accepted, they have been sentenced to jail, you need to now focus attention on the other accused. Because you need to show something more now. You need to show, did he bring that in to the house during the day? Did he bring it in at night? Did he bring it along with any of the three other persons? Were they present when he brought it? Who got the key and control the house? Who were the thing in? We were saying that the very same time the police came, it was just before that in dark. Nobody gonna walk around the open with big gun and a lot of ammunition. And so those are the things that were lacking in terms of evidence to the chief magistrate to help her to decide, you all know that they bring gun in at the house. Today, my client has been exonerated, as has the other two other persons. We just missed the young man from Mexico. That there is not sufficient evidence. Those are the words she used because she's using legal terms when a magistrate is dismissing a charge against people. There just was not sufficient evidence to link Miss Stephanie with what was found in the house. It would have to have been her house. It would have to have been she was renting that house. She was responsible for it on behalf of somebody. There have to be some link. You can't just find me in one house or one yard where there are other persons and you can't show that I know where they're there. If you can't show it, you can't show it.
Alden Zara is now serving time. Police are currently probing the circumstances surrounding the death of a 16-month-old girl in Georgetown Village, located in the Stand Creek district. Reports from the Belize Police Department indicate that the child's mother, 21-year-old Laurini Castillo, left her residence at approximately 5 a.m. on Wednesday to go to work, entrusting her daughter's care to a nearby neighbor. The mother returned home around 4 p.m. and discovered her baby girl unresponsive. The neighbor who was caring for the child during the day stated that she had fed the infant rice and offered her a bottle of chocolate milk at about 1:30 p.m., then laid her down to sleep. Roughly 2 hours later, the neighbor found the toddler lying in vomit and not breathing. Authorities continued to investigate the incident to determine the cause of the child's sudden and tragic passing. Coming up next, Belize launches a youth-focused training to combat rising adolescent substance use and reduce the stigma. Stay tuned.
Josetún presenta Los Cumbia Kings. Los Cumbia Kings en concierto. Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación Quipass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Mechas, gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas,
La aplicación Express Plus,
Cuellos,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia,
Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Caribbean, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
It is truly a proud and historic moment for us here in San Ignacio. It gives me great joy to welcome you all to the official opening of the very first wooden basketball court in our community.
The cost of the project in completion was about $200,000. Honorable Mala was willing to assist us with this project. This is a huge, huge investment for us.
There can be serious development through sports, especially if the right foundation, having the right facilities are in place. Then the programs follow. We can't put the carriage front of the house by having the programs, but we only have outdoor facilities. Belize rain 6 months out of the year, and having outdoor facilities is just not enough.
Our focus is going to be on education because that's a part of using sports as a vehicle to get as many of our athletes to international schools to play football, basketball, volleyball, track, whatever it is. The other thing is health. 33% of our people are afflicted by diabetes, hypertension, or some ailment like that. And those things can be prevented. So we want to create again the facilities where people can go exercise, have fun.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribbean in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribbean, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Busta B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there. Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium, August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Jaraz, Kaya Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Busta B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting a significant national decrease in dengue cases over this year. More than 40% fewer cases have been reported across the country compared to the same period in 2024. However, this positive national trend is being tempered by a sharp and concerning increase in dengue infections in the Belize district, particularly Belize City. According to the ministry officials, the Belize district has seen a spike of over 200% in reported cases compared to last year, prompting heightened surveillance and targeted interventions in the area. While other regions have reported improvements, Belize City, particularly in the south side, is now considered a hotspot for the virus.
Of week 29, which concluded last week Saturday, we saw a total of 357 laboratory confirmed cases and 171 clinical for a total of 528 tests. If you compare that versus the same 29-week period for 2024, we're looking at decrease of 46.8% versus last year. So last year at this same time we were already up to 990 cases, and right now we're at 528, which is the regional trend that we're seeing in the Caribbean and Latin America, where the cases are down this year. Unfortunately, when you disaggregate the data by district, and I will share that with you shortly, Belize district specifically is up. Belize City has a total of 307 cases, 69 clinical and 238 laboratory confirmed. If you compare that to last year for the same 29-week period, Belize City had 84 cases. So that's a 262% increase in cases in the Belize district. Now, mind you, that is not really spread out across the entire Belize district, but to specific neighborhoods within the largest epicenter, as you mentioned, Belize City. So 80% of the cases in Belize City are from Southside Belize City. So that is the area of the city that accounts for majority of the cases that are being reported out of Belize City proper. The data that we're looking at, the majority of
The most affected demographic appears to be working-age Belizeans, a group that includes a large portion of the economically active population. Health authorities are urging both employers and employees to take extra precautions to protect themselves, especially during peak mosquito activity hours.
The data that we're looking at, the majority of these cases are between the ages of 25 to 49, which is basically your working population. So there is the second largest age group would be 15 to 19, which is 38 cases. So if you look at if you add the two, you're looking at 80 and 38, so 118, or just about half of your cases are between the ages of 15 and 49. So you're very productive group. Um, Fortunately, to a lesser extent, you're looking at children below the age, let's say 10 and under, is very minimal because that is your high risk group, including the elderly, of course, looking at 65 and up. So it is affecting that working group.
To ensure that severe cases are managed effectively and that hospitalizations do not lead to fatalities, the ministry has rolled out case management training for healthcare providers across the country. This training focuses on early detection, proper patient monitoring, and clinical management protocols aimed at reducing mortality.
There was clinical management training for both northern districts yesterday in case management for dengue. We also did that in the south and also in the west some weeks ago. And shortly we will be replicating that in the central health region, which is Belize district. So we're focusing a lot in terms of case management, which we're doing case studies in those trainings as well to ensure that clinicians are following the protocols that are in place for treatment and management of these cases. Of course, for dengue, it has a lot to do in terms of fluid replacement and also blood replacement that is being lost. So we're focusing quite a bit in terms of case management to avoid any potential loss of life this year as a result of dengue.
Despite the overall decline in cases nationwide, the ministry is reminding the public that dengue remains a serious public health threat and that personal responsibility plays a crucial role in controlling the spread. Residents are advised to look out for key signs and symptoms of dengue.
So it's key that residents look out for the symptoms: intense fever, headache, pain behind the eyes, joint pain, rash. Once you start seeing those symptoms, you need to look to visit your nearest health facility. Reason is that the earlier the case is reported, the quicker we get a response from our department to be able to break transmission in that neighborhood or the point of the place of infection. So it's very important to look out for those symptoms, especially in persons that may have certain pre-existing conditions, diabetics, and is also a high-risk group, and persons with other serious medical conditions, as well as children. The pediatric group is a group that they tend to get dehydrated fairly quickly, and at times they may not be able to express all the symptoms that they're experiencing. And so at the onset of fever or persistent fever, the best advice is to seek health care so that we get the test done free of cost. We have, especially in Belize City, we have enough tests at this time to test persons that are coming in with fever and those symptoms.
Additionally, Belizeans are encouraged to eliminate mosquito breeding sites around their homes, such as stagnant water in containers, old tires, and clogged drains, and to use mosquito repellents, wear protective clothing, and ensure screens are intact.
There is an endemic channel that as we call it. It's basically a graph that monitors various thresholds, different levels, based on data from over a period of minimum of at least 5 years. And so we track that on a week-to-week basis. And so we know what would be a normal level and what would be an alert or an outbreak level. And so that is what we would utilize to determine when we move from an outbreak phase to what is normal level. So dengue is an endemic disease in Belize, and so throughout the rainy season you expect a certain level of cases. So for the Belize district, which for many years have not seen an outbreak of dengue, the threshold is very low. And so we anticipate that with certain interventions that we're putting in place, that we should be back to normal levels within the coming weeks. Some of those interventions include boosting the number of staff on the ground in Belize City. We're also getting assistance from the northern region with some of their spray trucks to strengthen we'll have 5 trucks out in Belize City starting tonight, and that will continue in the days ahead. So we are also embarking on a house-to-house campaign as well, visiting these areas, these neighborhoods in Southside, looking for mosquito breeding sites and things like that. So the next couple of weeks will determine a lot in terms of how things play out in for the rest of the year in Belize District. As I mentioned, the rest of the country enjoys a 46% decrease in cases, but there is the potential for that to spill out from Belize City into other districts.
Once more, signs and symptoms of dengue include a sudden high fever, severe headaches, pain behind the eyes, joint and muscle pain, skin rash, nausea or vomiting, and even bleeding gums or nose. Anyone experiencing these symptoms is urged to seek immediate medical attention and avoid self-medicating, as some over-the-counter drugs can worsen the situation. While national attention has been focused on controlling dengue and even malaria, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is also intensifying its surveillance of other vector-borne diseases, including Chagas disease and Leishmaniasis, both of which pose a risk to specific groups within the population. Health officials say that while these diseases are not widespread, they are emerging health concerns that require greater awareness and monitoring, particularly in high-risk areas and populations. Chagas disease, caused by the parasite commonly known as kissing bug, can lead to long-term cardiac and digestive complications if left untreated. Though relatively rare in Belize, the ministry is taking a proactive approach to identify and prevent potential cases. Leishmaniasis, on the other hand, is more commonly observed in soldiers, forest rangers, and individuals who spend extended periods in forested or rural areas. Transmitted by the bite of infected sandflies, the disease can cause skin ulcers and even more severe forms affect internal organs.
The program focuses mostly on malaria and dengue, which is the primary vector-borne diseases. And in terms of, I wouldn't say so much priority, but public health impact or interest in the country has to be leishmaniasis is something that we're seeing more and more. And that is something that is managed and treated by both the Ministry of Health and also support from the Belize Defense Force as well. certain populations, such as the military, you tend to see a high level of leishmaniasis in persons that work in the jungle doing patrol and things like that, transmitted by sandfly. So also we also tend to see cases of Chagas disease, again, transmitted by a triatomine bug. And that one is a parasite, affects the heart and the digestive system. And that one is also one of these other neglected infectious diseases in the region that is endemic to countries in Latin America. That one, again, we see that in the BDF. We also see it in persons that do a lot of tours, so tour guides, um, um, persons that work in the forests a lot, that are exposed to the habitat of these bugs. You would tend to see population that population be affected. But diseases such as Chagas disease, you don't really in the short term, you don't see much effects as you would do with a mosquito-borne illness, where you would see onset of fever. It might be that maybe until I go and donate blood, we would screen that for Chagas, and then it would be flagged. So, or sometimes it may not be until later in life that you may see there are issues with the heart, and they would do an imaging, a blood test, and then they would realize that it's Chagas disease. So those are some of the diseases that the ministry focuses a lot on.
Following months of heightened surveillance and targeted intervention, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has officially declared the recent measles outbreak contained. The outbreak, which began in early April, was traced to individuals who had traveled through Mexico and subsequently infected unvaccinated persons in Belize. A total of 34 confirmed cases were recorded primarily in the Corozal and the Cayo district.
Well, with regards to measles, we have Dr. Laura Friesen here from the Maternal and Child Health. I would ask her to give the update. I think she recently did an interview, but we know that we have not had any further cases of measles. I think we've gone through 2 cycles, and so far, even though we have been testing, our surveillance for many infectious diseases have gone up. As you know, and I'm sure you'll ask about dengue, we also have had cases of malaria that we have not had for over 8 years. We've had measles, of course, for 34 years. We've not had a case of measles. So the surveillance team, we have strengthened our surveillance team. We've strengthened the capacity in what they're capable of doing. And we are ensuring that when we say heightened surveillance, we're no longer waiting for persons to come in to say, I don't feel well, but we're going out to try to find persons who are ill. So with regards to measles and malaria, I can happily report that we have not had any cases in the recent 2 cycles.
In response to the growing concern of adolescent substance use in Belize, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has launched a 2-day training workshop focused on addressing stigma, discrimination, and the development of adolescent-friendly services for youth struggling with substance misuse. Adolescent substance use is an escalating public health issue worldwide, and Belize is no exception. Adolescents across the country are increasingly exposed to substances such as alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, and other illicit drugs at a young age. This trend raises serious concerns about their long-term health, mental well-being, academic success, and potential involvement in criminal activity. A recent situation analysis on substance abuse among adolescents in Belize, done by UNICEF Belize, highlights the urgent need for a coordinated youth-centered response.
So as a part of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's mandate, it's to ensure that health services are given equitably and without any stigma and discrimination. And this doesn't matter with regards to the age of the patient or the person who presents to our facility. We realized that there was a gap when it comes to services for adolescents. Particularly, there's a gap in, for example, sexual and reproductive health services, mental health services. And we realized that adolescents were not actually coming to our facilities, or even when we go to schools, we did not have the sort of what we needed in terms of the cooperation from adolescents. So we launched an adolescent strategy in health in 2023. And these trainings now form part of that. We're ensuring that the operational plan to this strategy, that we ensure that we start to do our training not only to adolescents and to the general public, but we also need to build capacity in our providers, so our healthcare workers at every level, to ensure that adolescents are welcome, that adolescents do not feel stigmatized or discriminated upon, and are able to access health services. That's the only way that we will improve the health of our population.
Over the course of 2 days, participants will explore best practices in adolescent-focused care, trauma-informed approaches, and culturally responsive support systems. The sessions will also address the broader social factors contributing to substance use and identify ways to promote community-based prevention and early intervention.
Well, our adolescents are currently, of course, would want to access any aspect of services. So we do have young people coming in to discuss sexual and reproductive health, contraceptive care. We have young people coming in to get information on respiratory illnesses, on mental health, on suicide prevention, depression. So there are wide areas. On nutrition, the Ministry of Health has been working with the Ministry of Education closely over the last 2 years on a nutrition project called the Healthy Schools Initiative. So we're trying to ensure that we foster a relationship with the schools and with students and with adolescents so that they can feel comfortable to get care and to actually get information, health information, and to be educated more in the area of health. We know in Belize that health literacy is a problem, and we feel that if we start early, we can actually lead to reduction of NCDs and a healthier population.
This training represents one of several steps the ministry is taking as part of a comprehensive strategy to reduce youth substance use and improve mental health services across Belize. It also reflects the ministry's ongoing commitment to aligning national health services with international standards and the sustainable development goals related to health, education, and social equity.
So the adolescent age spans from 13 to 22, but it depends on, in terms of the access to care, there are certain behaviors that we've had in our health system, and there are certain things that have been put in place in the past to protect adolescents. So there is still a gray line with regards to whether an adolescent can access services without an adult, for example. And where there are no laws that exist in Belize, usually in health, we would look at the common law, which is the law from the United Kingdom. So all these gray areas are being addressed. Somebody's here from the Attorney General's ministry as well. So we as well need guidance in order to ensure that we can tell our technical persons that this is the age, these are the services that an adolescent can actually get without accompanied by an adult, and we need to ensure that our environments are more adolescent friendly. So these are some of the areas that we're currently working on.
The training is being accessed by healthcare providers, counselors, educators, and community support professionals like those at NDACC and the BFLA. There is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there. Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing has begun replacing road traffic signs that were damaged after being used for target practice. In a statement issued this week, the ministry urged citizens to stop the dangerous and costly vandalism. If our people really feel the need for target practice, there are actually shooting ranges for this. Please desist from riddling signs with bullet holes. These are bought out of taxpayer dollars and placed there for the safety of motorists, the statement read. Officials say that damaged signs not only endanger road users but also place an additional financial burden on public resources. The ministry is calling on the public to respect traffic infrastructure and report any acts of vandalism. Honorable Francis Fonseca, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade, Culture, and Immigration, and Kristi Noem, Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, signed a Memorandum of Cooperation, which sets the stage for a Biometric Data Sharing Partnership, BDSP, on July 22, 2025. The objective of the new partnership is to enhance border security and public safety through the sharing of information. The foundation for this MOC is the letter of agreement between the government of Belize and the Merida Initiative, which sought security cooperation among the United States of Mexico and the countries of Central America to combat the threats of drug trafficking, transnational organized crime, and money laundering. The key implementing agencies are the Police Department and the Department of Border Management and Immigration Services. Data sharing will improve the ability to make informed decisions, detect criminality, and assess risks while facilitating lawful international travel and migration. These agencies will be able to access information on known or suspected terrorists, deported felons, smugglers, gang members, alerts, watch lists, and other derogatory indicators. Personal data is protected and cannot be transferred to a third party. The MOC is governed by the laws of Belize, and all Belizeans continue to enjoy the protection of the Constitution and other relevant national legislation. There is no connection between the proposed national ID and this memorandum of cooperation. Although a small nation, Belize is not immune to organized transnational crime, as has been seen from the international trade of drugs, contraband, and people, as well as the presence of foreign criminals in the country. The MOC on the BDSP now strengthens national capacity and further reinforces joint efforts to make the entire region safer and more prosperous for all citizens. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, July 25th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at www.ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews, or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening, and have a splendid night.